What's going on, family? I'm Scrapbook Boxing, Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuffs series. I want to continue to examine 100 years of the greatest 150 black fighters of all times, and I came across Johnny Saxton. He was something else. I had the pleasure of meeting Johnny Saxton. He was born July 4th, 1930 in Newark, New Jersey. He died October 4th, 2008. He was 78 years of age at the time of his death, and he would reside in Newark, New Jersey, his hometown. And when I had conversations with Johnny Saxton, he told me about his championship fights with Carmen Basilio and Tony DeMarco. He explained to me about the mob game. He told me about what it was like fighting in St. Nicholas Arena and Sunnyside Garden, as well as the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. You see, Johnny Saxton, he was all right. He was all right. He told me and had good conversations about the game of boxing that I appreciate to this day. Now, Johnny Saxton stood 5 foot 9 inches and had a 71-inch reach. He was a welterweight. He had a total bout career of 66 fights, 55 wins, 21 knockouts, 9 losses, and he was stopped 5 times and had 2 draws. And Johnny Saxton was in the ring with fighters such as Kid Gavilan, Tony DeMarco, Carmen Basilio, Joey Giambra. He was in the ring with Joey Giardello and Wallace Bud Smith, Virgil Akins. His professional debut, May 9th, 1949, was against a fighter by the name of Jimmy Swang. And he fought him in Philadelphia. And Philadelphia was somewhat of a second home for Johnny Saxton. He had a lot of great fights in Philadelphia. March 14th, 1952, he beat in the ring with Lester Felton. September 22nd, 1950, he would face Tony Pallone. Now, Tony Pallone worked for the mob. And Tony Pallone walked with a limp. He used to collect money for the mob when he wasn't fighting. He would go in and out of barbershops and bars looking for those who owed the mob money. And they respected Tony Pallone. He was short for his height and the weights that he fought. But he was well respected. Very rugged was Tony Pallone. My dad knew him as well. June 4th, 1952, Johnny Saxton would be in the ring with Luther Rawlings. July 30th, 1952, he would face Virgil Akins. October 3rd, 1952, Ralph Tiger Jones. He'd be in the ring with Del Flanagan and Charlie Williams, Gil Turner, and Danny Bang Bang Wapner. Johnny Saxton belongs on this list of 150 greatest black fighters of all time. 100 years of fighters. And I just want to salute Johnny Saxton. Very underrated because of some of the losses that he had in the mob scene that he was involved in. But all in all, he was a very good fighter. Shout out to Johnny Saxton. Now, Philadelphia's Percy Basset. He was born January 3rd, 1930, and he died July 7th, 1993. I met Percy Basset. Lightweight out of Philadelphia. Had a record of 64 wins, 41 knockouts, 12 losses, and 1 draw. And to tell you a story about Percy Basset, when he was 6 years old, his family moved over to Philadelphia. We attended Overbrook High School, and that's the same high school that Wilt Chamberlain would attend. Now, Percy Basset turned professional July 31st, 1947. He was 17 years of age, and he knocked out a man by the name of Joe Catamara. Knocked him out in 3 rounds. And he would have 25 straight victories before losing an 8-round decision to Brownlee, December 23rd, 1948. And 8 days later, he would avenge his loss to this man, Brown. And what was interesting about Percy Basset, he would become the interim featherweight champion while Sandy Sadler was in the Army. And they tried to get both these men to get it on, and it never happened. But Percy Basset used to waddle when he fought. He would kind of rock back and forth. Very good little fighter. And I saw him in the gyms in Philadelphia when I met him, just hanging out. But he was a very good fighter, he was a crowd pleaser, very good performer. And I just feel as though he deserves to be listed in this series. So I'm going to give him a shot. Percy Basset, out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 100 years, the 150 greatest black fighters of all time. Let's throw Percy Basset in there. He'd be in there with Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter was a lightweight champion. Ray Famachan, Lulu Perez, Miguel Acevedo, Teddy Ray Top Davis. Trying to think of these guys. Sonny Boy West. Sonny Boy West would die in the ring when he would suffer a blow. And never got a chance to see his true potential. Sonny Boy West. But Percy Basset has been added to the list. 100 years. The greatest 150 black fighters of all time. Thanks for hanging in there with me. I'm Scrapbook Boxing. Museum of the Forgotten Fisticuff series. In behalf of Curtis Anderson and myself, I want to thank you for tuning in to this series. 100 years. The greatest 150 black fighters of all time.